My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm reviewing the Black Robot or Paco Rabanne Phantom Parfum. This is £66 for 50ml, £93 for 100ml. And if you love it, £111 for 150ml. The description is capturing the thrill of sultry masculinity. Phantom Parfum by Rabanne fuels his raging passions and reveals his seductive aura, inspired by the complex facets of the man. This intense blend combines electrifying lavender with addictive vanilla and enhancing vetiver. Experience the allure of Phantom Nightcall. The notes are bergamot, lemon, rhubarb, accord, cardamom, lavender trio, geranium, patchouli, and cedarwood. And the base notes are vanilla bean, tolu balm, and vetiver. How exciting. Do we have our bottles of the Black Robot? Are we engaged with the high self? Let's get testing. So what am I expecting from this masterpiece? I'm expecting youthful demographic between 16 and sort of 21. But I assume anyone can wear it. Very sweet, lots of sillage, a clubbing fragrance. Didn't like the first one, so I hope this is an improvement. I believe that there were 2 or 3 perfumers designing this. So let's look at the atomizer. It's okay, nice, wide, dispersive. This is better than the first one. The first one was, to me, seemed quite messy and seemed quite that the concentrations and the dilutions, everything was sort of not really put together, and it was quite jarring. To me, it didn't feel smooth. There wasn't a smooth dry down, and it just felt just sweet. The dry down wasn't like smooth. And when the dry down isn't smooth, that generally means that the percentages aren't sort of like perfecto. It just felt sort of thrown together and it felt a little bit rushed. That's kind of what it felt like to me. This is better. This is smoother, based on Isuzu Berhedium. Not musk heavy, so it's sort of light and airy. It's got the methyl pamplemousse raw materials, which are giving it that grapefruit sharpness to it. Ethyl motto whipping through the base, and fruit molecules giving it this sort of the fruity sort of zest with it. So that fruity core with it. I think if it didn't have the grapefruit, it would sort of be obnoxiously sweet. And I've mentioned before in other reviews that when you're dealing with coumarin, vanillin, ethyl maltol, ethyl vanillin, fruit acetates, glutinates, you need something sort of sharp to clean it up. Otherwise it can smell like sludgy or can smell like a pudding or a dessert, pancasito, that sort of thing. It sort of smells a little bit too sweet. I think this is much more better created than the other one. It smells more in keeping with Paco Rabanne. It's got a lot of sort of smooth wood notes in the Bangalore, the sandalwood, the sort of raw materials to sort of give it a smooth wood-like feel to the formula. I like Bangalore. I think it's a really nice raw material. It can be used as a smoothing raw material. It can be used to give sort of a wood feel to it. It doesn't give radiance. Some raw materials in the sandalwood family, like polysanthal, can give radiance. Javanol can give radiance. Norlimbinol can give radiance. But Bangalore and sandalwood, those raw materials give sort of smoothness. So this has been used to smooth instead of using lily of the valley raw materials or muscone to sort of smooth it out. A little bit of cashmere to give sort of elevation. I like the choice of naturals in this. Bergamot, the vetiver, the patchouli. I kind of like all that with it. On to my final thoughts. I kind of do like this. I like the choice of lavender. Lavender is a lovely raw material to work with. I like the citruses, the lemon, the orange, the bergamot. I like the choice of naturals, the vetiver. And then I like the sandalwood-like raw materials, making it smell natural and making it sort of smell sort of sweet as well. But it's quite flat, and there's something a little bit unpalatable about it. There's something which sort of smells bitter. If you have it, you know what I mean? It sort of smells sweet, sweet, sweet. And then you get sort of a few raw materials that are sort of jarring together, giving sort of like a spikiness or bitterness. There's something about it I don't like. And it feels like on paper this is a great formula. But then sometimes when you mix raw materials together, you get a reaction, and you get a sort of a chemical reaction. And then normally, like the terpenol compounds, the terpenol acetate compounds, those sort of compounds mixed with sort of leathery compounds, mixed with sort of the methyl pamplemousse, can give a sulfurous sort of smell, a sulfurous spiky sort of smell. So terpenes and terpenol compounds are incredibly important industrial. It's sort of industrial chemistry, and they can be used as precursors to make stuff. They come from plants and all the rest of it, and they give you sort of spikiness. It's calone. It's calone mixed with terpenol compounds. So sometimes when you have raw materials that smell great on their own, when you've got all this sort of sweetness to it, they stick out a little bit too much. And I know some of you get this sort of sulfuriness from it, and I've never smelt it actually on my skin before, but I'm really detecting it. And this is the terpenol acetates, this is the terpenol, the sepuquinolone, and the calone. Those together are not kind of working for me within this. It smells a little bit off. So you have this sort of sweetness, and then you have these raw materials to give sort of elevation and to give projection. And to me, it smells like a little bit sulfurous, which is not for me at all. I kind of think if they were removed, then if the calone or the terpenes, those sort of things were removed or toned down slightly, I think I would like it, because it is what it is. It is for the younger demographic. I personally wouldn't wear this. I think it's really not my style of perfumery, but I'm not sort of 16. I mark it a 7 out of 10. That sulfuriness is quite strong on me and quite apparent. It smells a little bit off, but that's in my opinion. I know on some people they're not going to detect it, but I've kind of, it's the first time I've ever really detected it, to be honest. I think the demographic of this is, as I said, 16 to 21. I think if it's your first fragrance, I think it's great. I don't think you're going to detect that, but I think if you've got a more sophisticated nose, if you've got a fragrance wardrobe, kind of all the rest of it, I think you're really going to get this. And the more I'm smelling it, the more it sort of smells a little bit gone off, a little bit sulfuriness. And who's got time to smell like sulfur? Not me. So love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content, lots of moving hands, and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well. See you soon.